Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer this evening, Logan Landers. And joining me on this fabulous Wednesday to talk about some upcoming games this weekend in college football is my partner in crime, my co-host for the Unscripted Sports Podcast, Jay McLovin. What's going on, man?
Hey, we're doing well, Logan. Thanks for having me.
Of course, always a pleasure. And be sure if you guys enjoy this content to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving us, been sharing it to all the Facebook groups, letting all your friends and family know all the great work we're here. It's officially the first day of fall, so we've got a bunch of football content year-round, not just in the fall. So we appreciate all of that support. Also, go check out our podcast on thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. They've been doing great work with us. We upload daily, sometimes even more episodes per day for your audio listening experience. So please go over there, download, and be sure to give us a review. If you would do that very kindly, it would help out. All right, Jay, we got a good one this week. West Virginia, the Mountaineers, taking up against the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners, the number 4 ranked team in the country. It's going to be a tough one if you're a Mountaineers fan. But, Jay, please tell the fans at home, tell the fans of 100 Yards of Football, what can the Mountaineers do to get a win or pull off a great upset this upcoming week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a big game for West Virginia playing OU, the number 4 ranked, team. So this is a chance, honestly, for them to get ranked. If they can defeat Oklahoma in Oklahoma, so they got to go to Norman, Oklahoma this time. So, yeah, it's going to be a tall task for West Virginia Mountaineers, and I guess they're going to have to climb that mountain pretty darn hard, Logan. So it's going to be a tough mountain to climb. If you look at what Doge is doing, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, but Doge or Doge, how it's Dodge maybe. Those words are all right. So he's thrown for 6, but he's also turned the ball over 3 times. They've lost to Maryland 30-24, but they beat Virginia Tech 27-21. So if you look at the stats, you look at the scores, West Virginia is kind of like right there in the middle at 1-1. So they're going to have but they run the ball extremely well with right. Brown. He's got 51 carries for about 265 yards, but he's got 5 touchdowns. So what I would say is they're going to have to play extremely hard defense. Like they're going to have to play really good defense. And if you look at them, what they give up in terms of yardage versus rushing and passing, they give up 205 yards in the air and 101 yards on the ground. So they're giving up quite a bit on the ground, and that is Oklahoma's strength is on the ground. And because Rattler, he's not back to the air, but man, that ground and pound game. So really, what they got to do, Logan, I guess what I'm getting at is West Virginia's got to control the clock. They're going to have to control the clock, going through number 1, tough run defense, and also good pass defense. Well, they only give up 200 yards, so they should be able to control it through the air. But honestly, they're going to have to control the clock, and they're going to have to run the ball extremely well. And at the end of the day, man, they're going to have to limit Oklahoma momentum going forward.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, Jay. If you're West Virginia, the big key is, can that running game be as stout as it's been in the previous weeks? Brown, their running back, has 5 scores already early on into the season. So you got to think that he's pumped playing this big game with the spot on him. That's the thing, too, Jay. He's only ran for 265 total yards, but he's got 5 touchdowns on only 51 carries. So it's not like he's pushing the ball. It's not like he's run the ball 30 times a game or anything throughout these first 3 weeks, but he's productive when they give him the ball. So I would definitely think you got to pound the rock with him, give him some more to work with. And like I said, we got to see how Doge is going to do. How's the quarterback going to perform? He's done so far this season. He's done pretty good. Threw him for over 700 yards already, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks, and he has been sacked 6 times, which is a little bit of a worry for that West Virginia O-line because we know how just unstoppable Oklahoma is. Don't matter if it's offense, don't matter if it's defense. They are a special team, and you got to bring it if you're a West Virginia Mountaineer, whether you're on the O-line, you're on the defense. Even if you're a guy on the bench, you got to cheer them on even harder than usual to get a win this upcoming week because it will be a tough go at it, I think. But don't fret because the Oklahoma Sooners, they have 13 sacks on the season already, Jay. Doge has been sacked 6 already. I think that number is going to definitely go up this upcoming week. But what can West Virginia do? Go back to them. Like I said, got to give Brown the ball, let him run. The receiving core, there's not really a guy who's stood out more than the others. Sam James leads the team with 3 touchdowns, but he's only got 166 yards, and there's about 5 or 6 other guys who are all grouped in there. So there's not one big threat, which honestly, Jen, that's not a bad thing because you don't know where you're going to throw the ball. You can't really just zone in on one guy. So I think that is somewhat an advantage to West Virginia. You might look at these guys' stats and be like, man, no one's got over 200 receiving yards so far. But you see, like I said, 4, 5, 6 guys with about 100 apiece. And to me, that lets me know that my quarterback is throwing it all around the field. Everyone's getting some love, and everyone's getting some touches, which is, I know, is helping out the receiving core. Their kicking game is phenomenal. They have not missed an extra point so far this season or a field goal, so they're doing good there. You don't got to worry about that, I don't think. But you never know, Jay. Sometimes those legs get a little tired. Sometimes the nerves get to the kickers a little bit more. So that could be an issue. But so far, they've been tremendous. As for the defense for the Mountaineers, they've got 10 sacks. So West Virginia, it does have a solid defense. Josh Chandler-Semedo is leading the team right now with 23 total tackles. And then you have Jared Bartlett, their linebacker, who's leading the squad with 3 sacks so far this year. So if I'm West Virginia, you got to come in. You got to play tough as nails football if you want to win this one. It's going to be a grind-them-out game, I think, if you're a Mountaineers fan and if you want to get this win. So that's what I think that they should do. But before we move on to Jay to get your thoughts about the Sooners coming up, I got some exciting news. Guys, our podcast is partnering with PlayActionPools.com this season to bring some interactive fun to the sport we love most. You'll be able to get in on the action with our PlayActionPools.com football pick'em challenge, which is open to everyone. Here's how it works. You sign up for our contest, Believe Football Pick'em at PlayActionPools.com, and then get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest profile games of the week between the NFL and college football. Whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and a pair of DC shoes. Again, go to PlayActionPools.com and sign up for the contest. Believe, that's BLEAV, football pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own football contest, go to PlayActionPools.com today. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as a cool sportsbook style concept called Build Your Bankroll. PlayActionPools.com, your new home for all your office sports pools. All right, Jay, time for one of the best teams in the NCAA, the number 4 ranked Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. They've looked pretty good so far this season. How can they ensure victory and maintain their spot in that college football playoff this week against the West Virginia Mountaineers?
Yeah, here's the deal, Logan. These guys are going to have to – look, right now they're number 4 ranked. They're number 4 ranked for a reason. Mm-hmm. They're number 4 ranked because they barely beat Nebraska 23-16, and they struggled against a Tulane team of 40-35. Yeah. So my deal is here's the deal. OU is a good team, but they're struggling against teams that, quite honestly, they should be blowing out the water. Mm-hmm. So, and I got to be honest with you, if they struggle against this West Virginia team, it could put them out of the top 4, and if Penn State or A&M have a good games, like blowout type games, could slide one of those teams into the top 4. So OU, this is a paramount game for OU. Honestly, OU needs this win, but they need to blow out and they need to have a commanding win over West Virginia. Now, what does that mean for West Virginia? Real quick, going back to over the West Virginia side, that means that West Virginia could actually have enough confidence because of the Tulane game and because of the Nebraska game that they could get enough confidence to think that they could go in there and give OU, a tough time. So OU's going to have to be prepared. OU's going to have to be prepared for a confident West Virginia team coming in. But the good thing for OU is that it is in Norman, Oklahoma. And they do have Rattler. Now he doesn't get rattled too easily. I mean, he still throws for quite a bit. I mean, OU's averaging 46 points a game right now, and they're passing for around 291 yards per game. So OU's going to have to pass the ball, but they also have a good running game, and they run for about 195. So they have a pretty well-balanced attack over at OU, and that's what they're going to have to do against West Virginia. They're going to have to give a well-balanced attack of equal run and passing yards, And then the defensive side, they're going to have to limit them, and they only give up on the defensive side by 236 passing yards allowed and 83 yards on the ground. So they're going to have to stop that Brown from West Virginia, who actually has around 101 yards rushing, with that stout run defense of 83. So if they can control it, like I said, if OU can stop that run defense, get them on the well-balanced passing and running game, then it should be a blowout. This should be a blowout victory for the Oklahoma Sooners in Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah, the one thing when I was doing my research for this game, Jay, that really stood out to me is with Spencer Rattler. He's completed almost 75% of his passes this year. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
He's thrown 74 of 99. So he's looked great, thrown for 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's only been sacked twice so far.
Yeah.
So that O-line for the Sooners is doing well. But it also helps because he's looked good. They've given him time. He's only been sacked twice, which ain't much. And the two-headed monsters at that running back position with Kennedy Brooks and Eric Gray are really helping out this offense and really confusing defenses, I think, Jay, because Brooks has been tremendous, ran for over 200 yards so far this season. Gray right behind him with 185. And they've been really pounding the rock and helping out with this offense. Brooks also has 3 touchdowns on the ground. Rattler's not afraid to run too either, Jay. He's got 2 touchdowns on the ground, ran for 71 yards so far. And that's the thing about kind of a lot of modern quarterbacks. We're seeing less of just pocket passers and guys who just stand around and chuck the ball for 50 yards. But if you have that asset to where you can scramble and run for a good bit of yards, if you can get that first down when you need it to, it really helps out. And it really adds just another layer to your offense and and tricks the opposing defenses. But who's helping out Spencer Rattler? Who's helping him out? Of course, Marvin Mims, absolutely tremendous. 8 catches, 168 yards, though. Get that man a touchdown. He deserves one. Ain't got none on the season. I think he'll get one here in this game against West Virginia. Hazelwood's looking great, 2 touchdowns. Mario Williams as well. Both those guys are doing great jobs. The kicking game, I'll bring that up a little bit. Not as perfect as it was with Virginia. They've missed 2 field goals this year. One from 30 to 39, and then one from 50 plus. So might that come into a factor? You don't know. As for the defense, they're looking great as well. I mentioned they have 13 sacks as a team this season. There's 3 guys tied for the sack lead right now. Who will get that advantage? We'll see. Everyone's looking good on that defense, man, because I know they've given up a lot of points. Like you mentioned, to Nebraska, they gave a good bit. To Tulane, they've made it pretty close. But the one bailout they have is that explosive offense that's really helped them out. And like you mentioned, Jay, when you score 45 points a game, it's pretty much a guaranteed win for the majority of the time. So give me your final score for this one, man. Who do you think is going to win, and what will the final score be, at least for you?
Yeah, before you point that out, one thing I do want to point out real quick is that Dodge and Rattler's numbers are really quite similar.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, because Dodge went 53 of 88, but he's thrown for 729, 6 and 3 picks.
Yeah.
Whereas Rattler's gone, like you said, 74-99, but he's gone 761, 7 touchdowns and 2 picks. So their numbers are almost identical. So with that being said, I still feel like it should be a blowout game. I want to say, to the tune of like 35-14.
Okay. I'm going to be a little bit more lenient, and just because of how Oklahoma's defense has been, they're facing a better team, offensive team that's going to put up some points. I think, like I said, they gave up 35 to Tulane, and they beat them last week with Nebraska, but they only won 23-16, so not a big victory there. So maybe the confidence might not be 100%. Because, I thought they were going to blow out Nebraska, you would have thought.
Yeah.
And same with Tulane. That was the first week of the season. Anything could happen. But I think I am going to go with Oklahoma getting the win this one. I think that is a safe bet. But watch out for West Virginia because they beat Virginia Tech last week, who was the number 15th ranked team in the country at the time. So they already have a big wave of momentum on their side. But I'm going to give Oklahoma the win in this one, 38. So a little bit more than usual, just a field goal. I'm going to go 38, Oklahoma, West Virginia, 21. I think Oklahoma will get the win by a couple of scores, but I think the defense is still just trying to get its feet wet, trying to get everything worked out. But I do think Oklahoma at the end will pull away and get a victory and maintain their top 4 spot in that college football playoff. So let us know, what do you think? What will be the final score for this game? Do you think West Virginia Mountaineers are going to win? Or will the Sooners prevail and remain undefeated in this young season? Let us know in the comments, and we will be sure to interact with you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We go live each and every week, as you know, with our cast and crew here at 100 Yards of Football. Mr. Football himself, Miss Vincent Turner, who's done some great work with us, doing great game previews, history, everything you want with football. He is the guy to go to. Of course, former Atlanta Falcon and Florida State legend Bobby Butler, our amazing coach, Kevin the Bull Jones, another amazing producer I work with on Mondays, Jeremiah Long. Of course, myself and Jay McLovin bringing you all the good content here on Wednesdays. And all the other great guests we've had on. We've had Super Bowl champions, NCAA champs, guys who've broke records, you name it. We've had them on the show, interviewing them, legend specials. Go check out our podcast where you can list all that as well. Just go to Spotify, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast, and you can find us. Just type in 100 Yards of Football. And like I said earlier, we upload each and every day, at least one, maybe multiple, just depends on how much stuff we got coming out each week. And so please go over there, leave us a review, and let us know what you think of the show, whether you're on the way to work, you're in the gym, doing some bench press. We have a lot of great content over there. We've got, probably getting close to 500 episodes. So we got plenty of stuff for you over there. That's all I got to say. But for my guy, Jay McLovin, man, thanks so much for coming out today and previewing the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Oklahoma Sooners. It's been a pleasure. I've been your producer, Logan Landers. And stay tuned because we got another great game preview coming up for you in just a second. See you then.